to the Jazz Majesty Show. We have amazing things coming up this season for the 2024. It's been a minute, and I'd love to interact with you again. Today is a special guest. She is in the healthcare field, Miss Nadine, and I hope you enjoy her interview. In the meantime, what's happening in Grand Rapids? Well, March is Women's History Month, and I'll be touching on women of the community. Some of them, I can't name all of them because there's so many beautiful, talented, educated women that help our community in Grand Rapids and abroad. So I'm going to highlight some of them. You can also go check Experience Grand Rapids, and they have events for celebrating Women's History Month coming up. So go and learn and support your women. Women empowerment. We need it. Thank you so much. I'm also on location, so you'll be hearing from me from different places. Also, I'll share some of the highlights of past International Women's Day, an event I went to in Miami, which was my first show 2 years ago. I'm so happy to be on here 2 years. Yay! And I'll show you some highlights of women from all over coming together. We wore purple. We had a formal dinner. We were dressed and just being fabulous and celebrating our womanhood, the queenship, as I call it. So I'll talk to you soon. Have a blessed day and be careful out there. Bye.
Welcome back to the Jazz Majesty Show. And episode 18 is about home health care education. And I have the lovely Miss Nadine Carlson. She is a business owner, and she's ran adult foster care homes. Is that correct, Nadine?
Yes, that's right.
And she educates you on how to build your own business if you were interested in that field.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to hand the mic over to Nadine, and she can tell us a little bit about herself, where she's from, how she got her start, and go from there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Jazz, for the introductions. And many people know individuals who can't live by themselves anymore, and they need an environment where they can live and get the care they need to thrive. Well, one of those environments is an adult foster care home in a residential setting. And you can't even tell because they're in a neighborhood, and most often they don't have labels or signs in the yard. They just kind of blend in with everything else. So my husband and I ran multiple AFC homes over 12 years, and we were determined to figure out how to enrich and enhance the lives of the residents that lived within those homes. Now in 2022, we decided to sell them, and it was just a natural transition for us to start teaching all of what we learned to succeed to other people who were already running adult foster care businesses or those who wanted to open up AFC homes. So that's how Care Provider Solutions was born. And what we do is we teach AFC owners how to run their businesses better so that they have less stress, and then ultimately they can provide better care to their residents.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And where are you located? Where is this business ran?
So we operate out of our home in Hastings, but we service the whole state of Michigan.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. How far is Hastings as far as from Grand Rapids? Maybe
it's about 30 miles south.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Not at all.
Now, what made you get into the home healthcare field? How did you start?
That's a really interesting question. Because I was actually invited by a family member to start in this business because of the experience I had in working with people and the attention to details. And I didn't want to do it. I really didn't. Have you ever hated to exercise or maybe avoid certain foods, but then when you consistently did it, you found that it was actually a good thing?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So that's kind of what happened to me. I was content where I was at and I didn't want to change. But that I found after being engaged in the business that over time it was really my passion and what I was meant to do and the path I was meant to follow. So I find it funny how sometimes when we do something that we don't necessarily think we want to do, that we ultimately find purpose and a mission for ourselves. And that's how it was for me.
Yeah, I can totally relate. One of my first jobs when I was an adult, graduated from high school, is out in California. I worked at a nursing home. And at first I was like, oh no, I can't do that. What am I going to do? And by being there, I saw a lot of elders that I could relate to, like could be my grandparents, older elder family member, and I got to, you get to know the people, and I found it pretty rewarding helping them,
Mhm,
you know, because we're all going to age one day, and want to need somebody to care for us, whether
mhm,
you're at home or in a facility.
mhm.
So I think it's a great thing to be in a home where you're provided by professional staff that can make sure you eat, get your medication on time, take you places, and
Mhm.
can they have visits sometimes at some of the homes, like the family member come and spend time with them?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, the federal government is very intent in improving the quality of care for individuals that live in homes like adult foster care, and one of their rights is to have visitors if they choose.
That's cool.
Mhm,
Approximately how many people are in a home? Like, how big are the homes? Like, are they various sizes or?
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, it really depends. Some people will have a family home where they actually live in the house and they
okay,
provide care to individuals anywhere from 2 to 6. And then they can go up to 20 small group homes, medium size, which would be 12 and up, or I'm sorry, 7 to 12, and then large 13 to 20. So there's depending on the goals and the missions of the owner, you have lots of choices.
oh, great. And what kind of educational background do you have to acquire to run that type of business or be in it?
Yes, so you have to have a year's worth of experience in the industry in order to become a licensed provider in the state of Michigan. And then there's certain education requirements and business considerations that need to be thought through before a person actually embarks on a journey of opening up a home.
Okay. And do they have to have experience like a nurse or a CNA or what type of
That
experience?
just something that is in the industry that supports the population they want to live in the home. So that might be someone with a developmental disability, mental illness, physically handicapped, the aged, someone with Alzheimer's or a traumatic brain injury. So depending on the specialty that an owner would like to focus on,
Okay.
then they would need to show that they have the experience in order to get licensed.
Okay. Wow. So if I wanted to take one of your courses, provided that I had the criteria, the classes, or like I was a home healthcare worker, CNA, or like, can you give the audience an example of, and then I know there's different disciplines experience you have to have.
Mhm. So to take my courses, you don't have to have the experience that I mentioned to have a license. The courses we teach focus on the 7 primary areas of struggle that AFC owners face. So those would include things like how do you make money and a profit when you decide to open a home? How do you hire and train the best AFC staff? That's a huge buzz topic right now because labor shortages are so prevalent.
Yes.
Audit procedures and preparation, because as a licensed facility, that's just part of what you have to expect. Resident admissions and management. And then, of course, how do you open up a new home? And then when you are secure in that, how do you add homes? And then what types of monthly success checkups should you do? So those are the areas that we can focus on. And it could be someone that's an owner, it could be an administrator, it could be a house manager or just a care manager or even the support staff. the topics can be the topics are focused around those types of titles.
Oh, okay. And how do you feel? How long have you been teaching?
A year and a half as a teacher at Care Provider Solutions, but since 1999, since I started opening and operating just businesses in general, I've been mentoring individuals.
Oh, that's awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. So are these classes in person, online, or how would one go about enrolling?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So we have currently we're doing all face-to-face training, and for individuals that are longer than 180 miles away from Grand Rapids, we'll typically do those by Zoom and send all the training materials to them ahead of time. But I do enjoy the face-to-face interaction because I think people learn a lot better and are a lot less distracted when you're face-to-face versus over a camera.
I can totally relate because you get the phone ringing, somebody in your house is calling you, and you get
Mhm,
distractions, just normal
mhm,
life. So,
mhm.
yeah,
Yes, but the second part of your question is we are formulating an online training program because there are some people that do really well studying on their own. So,
mhm.
so my husband and I, who's my business partner, are developing an online training program for those people that do like that self-study option.
That's good because sometimes people are working and they only have the time to be at home and study online. So that's a great option to have audience. How much does something like this cost? Are there different like phase one, phase two, or
It really depends, and our website has the course-specific pages that outlines what you get, what you can expect, and how much it costs.
okay, that's amazing. The healthcare, there is a shortage, I believe, in home healthcare, um, maybe providers and staff. I know some family members that are in the healthcare field, licensed CNAs, and they're working doubles. Audience, they're burnt out sometimes because the need to take care of these people is so important. And
Mhm.
sometimes they're often working on their days off. So people, I don't think a lot of people understand the strength and the mental and the physicality of doing this type of work. Um, for someone to do something like this, you have to have that empathy and care in your heart to help these people.
That is so, so true, and that's an excellent point. And and it's growing too.
Mhm.
Argentum, that's a trade association that serves professionals that serve seniors. They just released a stat that said that the senior population is increasing by 10,000 people per day. So
Wow.
the need for communities that serve the seniors and provide the care that they need is just growing astoundingly. So you're exactly right. For those people that have the heart to care and desire to run a business, adult foster care is a very secure industry to pursue, but you have to have the fortitude because there are challenges that you can learn tips and strategies on how to do them really well, but there's still going to be challenges. There's still going to be difficulties in finding staff. It's just a matter of understanding how to keep them and where to look for them. That is different than just throwing an ad out on a hiring platform that most people would use.
Okay. And is there a specific screening process that you go through in order to work in, what is it called, adult foster care homes?
Yes, professional adult foster care home owners will have a very methodical onboarding process, which would include not only the interview and the offer, but then the training, the mandated training to make sure that they're doing their job well and they're providing the care that loved ones would expect for them to receive.
That's good because sounds like they get the support they need in order to do the job properly.
The good homes do that, yes.
And with good mentorship, a person like yourself,
Yes.
um, could I think people will need that, especially if they're breaking into that field or even if they're already in the field. I mean, things are constantly changing with technology, and that's with any job, you still have to. It's always a learning process.
Yeah, and we hate to do life alone, or a majority of people don't like to do life alone. They like to have support and guidance and someone to be their cheerleader when they need it. And that's ultimately what our goal is to not only be that cheerleader, but also to provide that support and education to do the best job that they can do. Because in my opinion, they're all heroes. Caregivers and AFC owners, they are amazing people with monstrous hearts and a huge desire to serve like no other.
I believe that also. And people, we ought to give our hats off to them because it is a lot and it comes from their heart because it's not like a fabulous job where um, oh, I want to be a caretaker. It's a great job, don't get me wrong, but it's not one of those jobs where it could be considered flamboyant or you're going to have fun, you get to know people, but it's just like in the nursing field and doctors, that's a really hard job.
Mhm.
And we don't have enough people to fill these positions. So,
Mhm.
young adults, if you're thinking about doing something rewarding while you go to college, or even if you're not in school as an adult and you want to change and
Mhm.
do something different and rewarding, think about going in the home healthcare field or even
Mhm.
running your own
Mhm.
business. And we have Miss Nadine to teach you the ropes and mentor you and go through the process.
I would love that opportunity.
Great. And we will have Mrs. Carlson's information at the end of the show. So if you'd like to go to her website, contact her and find out all the information about the classes. All right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Carlson, for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. This is an extremely busy woman running homes and handling that business, and she has a great partnership with her husband to do this. So my hat's off to you, Miss Carlson. Wear
Thank
many
you. It's been
hats.
such a pleasure talking to you.
All right. Well, we'll be in touch soon and take care and have a wonderful day and be safe and happy holidays.
You too. Bye-bye.